Hi, Nimi, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's so nice to see you. Congrats on the show. I loved it. I binged it. It's incredible. Um, are you excited for the season finale? What do you think people are gonna say at the end?
Yeah, I'm very excited. First of
Yeah.
all, you're so beautiful.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
you're really stunning. I was like a bit mesmerized by you and your nails and your lips and everything. Anyways.
coming from you, equally gorgeous. Thank you so much. So are
Yeah.
you.
I just needed to say that first. But I'm very excited for the last episode to come out because it's like 7 and 8 are really like two of my favorite episodes because they really go to places where it's like uh it's very emotional and also kind of has it's brutal and emotional and bittersweet and sad. It has like all the ingredients. And Joe's decision in the last episode just it's it's brutal. It was a brutal moment, but also felt kind of liberating. So it's just like I'm excited to share it and to see how people react to it.
Yeah.
And then the very last shot is also like when I first saw how that came together. When I saw the last episode, I was like, okay, okay, okay. Which is like it kind of. So I think it has a lot. The last episode, and I think it ties everything beautifully together, but it's not a happy ending, but it's a bittersweet acceptance that I find like life is very much about that. It's not
Mhm.
perfect. Nothing is ever perfect. What do you
Mhm.
do with it? What do you do? You have to make decisions and stick to a decision and try to accept things and accept that things are not what you want. So
Mhm.
I think it's a very human and kind of I like it feels real somehow. It's like tying it down to earth.
Yeah, I completely agree. That last shot actually blew my mind. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Another Joe.
Yeah, that's Joe B. And Joe B is not Joe A that you've been following throughout the season.
Yeah.
She's warmer, she's funny, she's a
Mm.
bit more chill, she's like, she has humor. And like if Alice would spill ketchup on her sweater, she'd be like, oh honey, it doesn't matter. Look, it's just ketchup. She doesn't really, she's not as strict. And Joe B is very disciplined, very quite tough, driven. She plays the piano. She's been practicing, practicing, practicing. She's like planning to go to California to work for a different company. She's
Mm.
having an affair. She definitely is a bit of a narcissist, I would say, and has maybe a bit of a. I'm not sure how she feels about Joe A living her life down on earth.
Mm.
I think that probably brings up a lot of emotions in her.
And also because at the end she's pregnant, and then Alice says, well, if you're pregnant, if you come from here and we are from there, where's the baby gonna come from? And it's like, well,
Yeah,
one question for season two.
yeah, space baby.
Exactly.
Yeah, but whose baby is it? Because it's like it's a
Yeah.
baby, it's an A and a B reality baby. So like, how will Joe connect with the baby
Mm.
if it's so and I love that and a baby is the perfect symbol and it's the perfect like, okay, we have two realities and is the baby the bridge between the realities? I don't
Yeah.
know. But it really I think yeah. When I read the scripts and I came to the baby, I was like, wait, what? No. Oh
No,
no. Oh, she's pregnant. I just can't
no,
imagine like carrying, like walking around with having this like child growing in you and like not knowing what it is. Sort of.
no, I agree. And I even had the theory. It's kind of crazy. And I shared it with Peter Harness. I spoke with him a couple of days ago. And I was like, at some point Joe goes upstairs and there's a twin. Well, there are twins, two twins locked in a cell. And one of them calls her mama. And I'm
Yeah.
like, don't tell me she's actually pregnant with these two, and then there's been something with time travel or something like that, and these are the actual children
Ooh,
you might be
ooh.
pregnant with. But then Peter was like, no, that's not happening. He said it was not that bad of an idea, but it was not happening. So I was like,
I
okay.
think it's a good idea. I like the idea.
I was
No,
like,
Peter
I
is
don't.
he's so funny. Sometimes when I came with idea to him, he's like, yeah, it's a great idea, but no.
Yeah,
But no,
sure.
no, we're not gonna.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
sure.
Yeah, great, great, great. Love it, Noomi, but
So here's
not
the
this time.
script. Here's your
Yeah.
laptop.
Yeah.
I agree. I was wondering, just to switch things up a bit, I was wondering what kind of sci-fi movie you grew up watching, because watching Constellation made me really think of in Artificial Intelligence by Steven Spielberg, the relationship
Yeah.
between Alice and her mom, and it that's the kind of relationship that really makes me cry in movies, especially sci-fi. And I love how Constellation just like is just questioning the sci-fi genre in a way. It's way darker than what we're used to. It's not just space opera. So I was wondering what kind of sci-fi movie you grew up watching or inspired you for Joe, maybe.
I watched Alien
Yeah.
several times.
Yeah.
I watched
Well.
Terminator 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Loved. And also when Memento came. Do you remember Memento?
Of course, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, one of his
I was
greatest favorites.
obsessed,
Yeah.
obsessed. I watched it again and again and again, trying to
Yeah.
trying to figure out what's going on. And I
Yeah.
kind of that was the movie I rewatched for Constellation as well. And
Okay.
then and also Space Odyssey. Oh, Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner.
Oh,
Obsessed. Yeah.
do not get me started on Blade Runner. I cannot live with that with this movie. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
obsessed. Yeah, it's iconic. But these are good picks, good choices. I was wondering what is the set that had the biggest impact on you being Joe, because you've got the lake, the ice, and I have also my theory on the lake as well. I have a lot of theories on that series. And I shared it with Peter as well, and he agreed, so it's fine.
Okay.
But the lake, and then the cabin, and then obviously when you're in space and you're in the capsule, I could not, like, I'm extremely claustrophobic, and I was like, I could not do that. I was wondering which of these sets had the biggest impact on you and on your performance, and what you're going to bring to your performance.
Wow. I mean, I can't really pick one to be honest, because
Yeah.
they are so powerful
Yeah.
and really kind of had a huge impact on me. Or I would say the Soyuz, when I'm trapped in the little pod, the Soyuz, like that's the little pod that would bring me back to Earth. All
Mhm.
these scenes and the claustrophobia and I felt so lonely. It was
Yeah.
strange. I really had this like, it really moved into me. I felt like I was heavy inside and I missed my son a lot. I was crying a lot. It was this
Oh,
kind of weird feeling in my body. And then when we shot in Morocco in the extreme heat when I'm landing and it was
yeah.
just dripping. And then up in the north of Finland, it was so cold. And like,
Mm.
it's like your brains, it feels like your thoughts are so clear, but you have a very short attention span because then you get too cold. And I feel like they all kind of helped me and boost and kind of gave an extra dimension to the scenes and therefore Joe. So, and
Mm.
I love that we went to those places.
Yeah. No. Those sets are amazing. Alice says, and they say the truth comes out of children's mouth in a way. And she says at some point, she asks her dad, if you die in space, do you die on Earth? And I'm like, is it as simple as that? Is that what's happening right now? And I thought it was such a beautiful way to put things. I was
Yeah,
wondering what impact that line had on you and on how you're gonna portray Joe and on the whole story. It's just a very complicated story in itself.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Joe A is trapped. So
Mm.
the accident's up in space. Joe A's body kind
Mm.
of dies, kind
Yeah.
of. And then her soul or her persona hijacks or goes into Joe B's body. So all of a sudden she's in a body that is not hers. And so, and then, I mean, everything, your hands, your smell, your look, when she's like, look at her brushing her teeth, like everything is slightly off, which must be so creepy. Like
Mm.
looking at your body, it's like, I kind of look like myself, but something off. Like, I used to have a scar here and it's not here today. I think it's like that itself is just so, it's like my worst nightmare. And to come and to speak to you and be like, you had like blue eyes last time I spoke to you. And like, no, they was brown. I was like, sure, they're blue. You know, just like small things. And I think the way Peter balances it and like how it's written is just so subtle. And like living as Joe A in Joe B's life, where everything is like, just like, because I had to constantly remind myself of like, okay, so in Joe A's house, the bookshelf would be here. So I would probably look in that direction, but it's not there. So kind of, I had to kind of exist and always kind of prepare slightly more and just remember and visualize the other space and what the other house or the clothes I would wear or how my husband would look.
Exactly. But I thought it was such an interesting way of seeing things, because when you go to space, obviously I've been to space, but your body changes, and then gravity and everything changes in your body. And then you go back to Earth and you have to relearn how to be an actual human being on Earth. So I was like, so many things change in your body. How about your soul? You know, how about your mentality and your mental health? Why wouldn't there be any change?
Of course it changes. Yeah. I mean, we always change. We constantly change all the time. And I can only imagine it changing even more up there. Like I had a conversation, I spoke to this astronaut, Jessica Meir, several times, and Scott Kelly as well, and Christer Fuglesang, who's the first Swede up in space. And like, I tried to kind of really put myself in their shoes and understand what it's like to be up there. You must have so much time to think. But also, I mean, it must be really triggering as well. I don't know. I find it really fascinating. And I love change. And sometimes change is painful, but we need to change and we should embrace it.